Hey guys, and welcome back to another Woodbrew video. This morning Dylan is taking out the fuel tanks, which is super exciting, but I unfortunately won't be here today. I'm gonna go do computer work away from the house, and I'm gonna go upload the video previous to this one. So Dylan's gonna take over filming this morning, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.
So these fuel lines come in here and they have these sort of kind of special connectors on them, but you can get a kit to undo them on Amazon for, I don't know, really cheap, like maybe 20 or 30 bucks. But I'll show you how they work. They have these safety retainer clips just to keep them in place once they're inserted, which honestly sometimes is the hardest part to get off. Alright, with those off, this kit has a whole bunch of different things. I think these will also do like AC lines and stuff, but for this, we just need this little one. And all you do, which you do want to be wary of this because there likely is fuel in this line, so don't be having anything around that's flammable. And I'm gonna go put on some gloves. Actually, I'll just put on these gloves. Just because fuel on your hands isn't probably the best thing. It'll be like a very small amount, but you just basically insert it here and then push forward. It's gonna be hard to see on camera. I believe this blue line is the pressure side, so it's the one that's gonna have most fuel on it. Sometimes they're crusty like this one is. I'm gonna put some spray in there because there's so much dirt in there. It's kind of clogging it up. There we go. It's amazing how just a little bit of penetrant spray works. That's it. Tiny amount of fuel came out of that one. Same thing over here. This one's ready to bend, so it's kind of, this one's gonna be a challenge. Let's see if a different one of these works better on that. I think this one's longer. I think that'll work better. There we go. That's it. That's how you disconnect fuel lines. So before I start grinding away and getting this thing cleaned up for paint, I'm going to remove everything back here so that I can actually get to the whole frame, because I don't want to just get to partially or paint over rust. Like, I want to actually get in here and get it cleaned up. So I'm removing this rear wiring harness, which wasn't that bad. Now I'm removing these fuel lines, which are a bit more difficult, but thankfully they all have a disconnect right under here, which I'm about to show you. And then the last thing is this line here, which is the brake line. And I'm going to need to evacuate the system, meaning just basically take all the brake fluid out at the brake reservoir, which is underneath your hood. That's where you put your brake fluid. I'm just going to do that, and then I'll be able to take that off. That's just a nut. That's not any crazy fitting, but the fuel line. So I'm underneath the car. This is where those other lines came in. This right here is called your fuel filter. This is what actually filters your fuel. Technically, this is a maintenance sort of item. You're supposed to replace your fuel filter every once in a while. And it's very simple. It's the same connector that I used before, here and here, and then literally this thing is just kind of clipped into place and you replace it. That's one of the things that I'm replacing, and it's also good because right here disconnects the entire back half of the truck's fuel line so that I can just slide them out and get them completely out of my way, which is pretty awesome. Looking forward, here is where that play was that I was talking about in the last video. This is your universal joint here, so we'll be replacing that as well. And getting under here to actually do the frame is going to be quite difficult, and I'm not looking forward to that for sure. But I'm going to get this disconnected, and I don't really know how to film this. I'm going to just not film it, disconnect, pull this guy out, and then we'll start cleaning up the rear end once I pull the rest of the fuel lines out. Got a tractor, why not use it? That's one way to do it. I've got this back half mostly prepped for finish, so what I'm going to do is, before I keep going forward, because this is taking way longer than I thought, I'm going to go ahead and prime this back area so I don't have to keep going back to it and taking off surface rust that happens kind of overnight. So we're going to prime this whole back half, and then we'll continue working tomorrow on this front half. So
what is that?
This is paint thinner. I've already kind of washed everything off again, but I'm going to use some paint thinner and go around and spray it and just try to get rid of any sort of leftover contaminants, and I'm just going to wipe it away. That's why.
Like, that piece looks brand spanking new.
Crazy, huh? This is the first paint we're using. It's actually kind of a primer for us. It's called Rust Reformer. So this actually converts rust into a protected paintable surface. So we're really kind of over prepping this compared to what I think most people do for this product and for frames in general, but I want this to last a long time. Paint prep is everything. It's going to dictate how well this coating and all the other coatings we do beyond this last. So we're kind of over prepping. We're going to use this as a primer, and then we're going to use a rubberized coating that we'll show you later. This stuff comes out way like thicker than normal spray paint, and it runs super easily. I don't think you'll be able to I think it matters, or that you'll be able to notice once the other coating goes on, but FYI, if you use this, it's very difficult to do a light coat. So I'm disconnecting this hose from this vapor canister, if you'll show it. I'm honestly just doing this so that I remember where this goes. But this hose back here, and this actually runs all the way to the back of the truck. I am disconnecting everything underneath the truck so I can fully clean and prep and paint the frame. So I gotta figure out how to get this last clip undone, and then you'll see how long this pipe is. It's very long. It's not like the rest of them. It's too big. That ain't coming off. Never mind. Just did all that for nothing. But it's at least loose where I can get around it and do what I need to do.
If you haven't heard, we are partnering with Ifixit the entire month of February to be giving away one of their toolkits every week through Instagram using the hashtag FixitThem. Ifixit is a company leading the charge to your right to repair. So many things get discarded when they don't work anymore, but more often than not, they can just be fixed. So all you have to do to enter the giveaway is post on Instagram of you fixing anything. It can be a pair of glasses, a squeaky door, like it can literally be anything, but make sure you use the hashtag FixitFeb and you will be entered. Just like this truck, we have had so many issues with it in the year that we've owned it, and yes, it would be easy just to go out and get a new truck, but that will even be more expensive than what we are putting into this truck. And not to mention that it has been such a fun project to do and to learn about how cars work, especially for me. In the end, it'll be so much more rewarding when we have close to a brand new truck. If you have entered the giveaway, you can still enter again, but we want to say thank you so much for spreading the awareness of the repair issue, and we cannot say how grateful we are for your help. All right, let's get back outside.
So I came outside to start working this morning, and there's a puddle of transmission fluid down here. It's super windy today, so just a lovely start to the day. It's kind of, the pan bolt's loosened out, so it started leaking oil, which is, I don't understand how that happened. It's super dark, I know, I'm sorry. But I am going to start the awful task of cleaning up the inside frame rails underneath the cab. I already pulled the entire wire loom out so I got full access here, but there's just so much dirt and debris. So that's what I'm going to get started on today. And you're not going to be able to see anything, so I'll bring you back and give you a final overview. But here's basically what the majority of the rail looks like.
Dylan's having a little OCD moment with cleaning the front half of the frame now.
I can't do anything. It's just not my DNA. And it's very unfortunate times like these when I'm stuck cleaning for hours every crevice of the underside of this truck. And I know it the entire time I'm doing it that it's ridiculous.
Your brain just won't let you do it.
My brain will not let me do it.
But you not do it.
My brain will not let me not do it.
Yeah.
I can't overlook it. It feels dumb to put so much effort into one place in the truck or anything and then just turn a blind eye to the rest of it like it doesn't exist.
Ain't that the truth?
That is impossible for me.
I mean,
the amount of times I've almost just pulled the entire cab off of this truck and just said, you know what, I'm just taking it all the way to the frame. I've almost done it. A lot.
I mean, even after pressure washing, and now wipes, and now more wipes, and scrubbing.
Pressure washed twice. Foam cannon. Pressure washed again. Wire wheel brushed some parts that I could get to, which was horrible. And now I'm using wipes everywhere. There's so much grease under here and stuff. Ugh. It's looking good though.
Kind of has to be done right if you want to do the undercoating.
You want to do it right. If you want to do it right, yes. You could just spray right over it and it would look great probably for as much as a year, but then it'd just start flaking off.
Yeah, we don't want that. Anything else?
If you ever go to buy a car and you look underneath it and it looks brand new, like there's paint on it, someone's just quickly sprayed a coat of paint or this undercoating on to make it look good, and it'll probably just start falling off, and it probably means that there's something else wrong with the car because they're trying to cover it up.
Oh.
There she is, the full wire loom. Well, full rear wire loom.
This is gonna need a nice pressure wash when we're done.
I figured I would drain the diff while I have the truck sort of like leaned back like this a bit. Thought it would make it easier. Oh, stinks so bad. This isn't going to seal that well right now, and I'm not trying to change the fluid yet. I just wanted to drain as much of it out as I could right now, because I've decided I'm just going to pull this whole rear end out from under the truck so I can work on it much easier. Also guys, just so you know, we're recycling all of these fluids. It's very important that you do that you put them in a container and then take them somewhere to be recycled. Usually, almost any place that you buy your oil from, you can bring your old oil back to them and recycle it for free, like most auto parts stores, even some Walmarts, and definitely like, you know, your local recycle center will take it. Very important though. Crusty. Did that hit me?
I don't think so.
Well, it still works. So seeing as how terribly oily and cruddy the inside of the brakes were, could have just been leaky brake cylinders, but I never noticed the brake fluid being low, so I don't think so. So I'm thinking that it's more to do with leaky rear axles. So I've taken the rear cover back off of this differential, and we're gonna replace those now because it's super easy and cheap to do it. So if that was the issue, that will be solved. So the way this works is pretty cool. There's this large shaft that goes down the center of this differential area, and there's a pin that holds it in place. But once you actually take the pin out, then I will show you. One moment. You can push the rear axle in. See that? That went in. You come look over here. Now there's this little bitty retainer clip that's exposed. All I have to do is pull it out. Spin it a bit. Just like that. And now this whole axle over here should come straight out. Yeah. Ooh, nice and yummy. Yes, and that seal looks like it's been leaking. Very cruddy. Boy, those are in there. Jeez.
That's the seal?
Yep. Bless. That's crazy. Alright, I'll get the biggest one. There she goes. There goes my OCD again. I have to take this cover off because I can see that it's going to be like impossible to get to some of the areas to get them cleaned and recoated. So gotta come off. Gotta come off. Honestly, it's pretty stupid. Molly was asking the other day, why do you have to have all these different wrenches? See, this is an offset wrench.
Oh, thought I stopped that.
And this is what that's for. To be fair, I just had a giant kit with these. I didn't go out and buy them. Just already had it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never used it before.
Mm-hmm.
This project is bringing out all the random mechanic tools that I've acquired over the years that I've just never used. I guess I've never used them for their intended purpose. Now I am.
And you're grateful that you have them.
Very much so. Ow. Assume this just comes off. I assume that's why there's bolts on it. There we go. guys, I've got this thing mostly cleaned up. It's just about ready for paint, which this has taken way longer than expected. I'm sure you guys have had projects that humble you, and this is one of those for me. I've been very humbled by how long all of this is taking. Especially when you're doing something new for the first time, you have to look up every single thing that you do before you do it. I'm getting more and more of an appreciation for people who buy our plans and start woodworking, because I've just been doing it for so long now that I think I've lost kind of, I don't know, the feel or the idea of like how long it takes when you're trying to learn something brand new. So this project has been very humbling for me, and it's been a lot of fun for that reason. I'm starting to like really understand the way a vehicle works, which is really awesome because I've never really fully understood. So anyway, we're gonna leave off this week's video with this. We didn't get a whole lot done this week, even though we did work on the truck. It's just, like I said, taking way longer than expected. But the good news is that we got all the big stuff out of the way, and we're kind of mostly cleaning and prepping at this point. So next week we ought to have some really big rounded ending to the video, you know, something that's actually like done, finished. But anyway, don't forget to enter the Ifixit Giveaway, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to do it. You can do it multiple times. There's no limit. We're really proud again to be partnering with them on this project. I think it's an amazing thing that we're doing with them on this, and I hope that it goes on for much longer. I think you guys probably enjoy it as well. So if you do, be sure to give them a shout out. Give the entire cause a shout out. You know, let's stand up for things being repaired. I think it's super important, our right to repair. And with that out of the way, I guess we'll end it here. See you guys next week.